Namaste, angels. This is going to be a client reading for a woman about whom I know absolutely nothing. We don't know each other at all. She placed an order for a reading and a healing this week because they're both on sale, or while they were both on sale. I'm not going to say because they were both on sale. She purchased during the sale. She bought one of each. I'm not going to rush through it. I never do that, but I do want to try to get as much in as possible. So I'm going to start right away, beginning with this card, Balance in, what deck is this? Tony Carmine's Universal Love Oracle. And this card often speaks to me of air and water. And I think that there may be, I saw a lot of evidence of air in shuffling these cards. I saw a lot of evidence of water. I saw a lot of evidence of earth. So it can be somebody's sun, moon, or rising, but I think it may involve three separate people. Not necessarily a love triangle, but quite possibly. I also saw and felt a lot of pain as I was shuffling these cards, separation and all that kind of stuff. So just to give you an idea with what we're starting. And now with this deck also, here we go with, because I saw that with the tarot cards. And then here we go with the air and water again. Somebody might have something to say too. Somebody may have said something already that was hurtful. Is what's coming through now. Okay, and opening to Embrace, which is, it's more so about one person's inner masculine and feminine coming together in balance. And so being opposite this card, Balance, I think that might be how it is most meant right now too, for this reading. The need for one or both to heal in the sense that their inner masculine and feminine are harmonious. Embrace. And opening to Answered Prayer, which also speaks of air and water for me, specifically and mostly Aquarius and Scorpio, but it could be any air and water. Answered Prayer and meditation. Prayer for me is meditation. Meditation is prayer. Like, we don't have to sit down and recite something that's, you know, pre-written or planned or whatever. Just a conversation with your higher self and or higher power, if you believe in one. That is meditation. That is prayer. Meditation, I'll go one more, and it's expectancy. This card talks about the need for us to let go of our expectations, really, that if they're unrealistic. And so that means, like, in general, just let go of them all, like not to have expectations upon other people and or the universe. It's about going with the flow. And because when we have these sort of expectations and we expect our prayers to be answered, our meditation to be answered in a very specific way, we over specify things that we put out into the universe. It's sort of like we're trying to tell the universe how to do what for us, and we block our blessings in that way. Meditation. I'm going to cut. And it's Trilogy of Light. This could be another indication that there's three people involved here. More so than that, this card for me, it does speak of sacredness or sanctity and like connection to the universe. I do see like these as like the divine masculine and feminine, no particular order. You know, one is one and the one is the other. And then this is like the universe and the two trying to become, you know, closer and like nearer and dearer to God, essentially. And the overall energy is the goddess. And it's, of course, attached to the moon, the goddess of the moon, to be more specific. And the moon represents goddess, represents feminine energy. And for me, more specifically, feminine energy of surrender. So, for example, to get back to the first card with which I started, the need to come into balance and be more harmonious, our inner masculine and feminine, somebody, one or both, you know, maybe in, overly masculine right now and need to take on more of this feminine energy of surrender in order to balance out and like sort of let go and let God, which is basically this similar to releasing expectations and right and ceasing to block one's own blessings. It's also an actual moon event. There's a new moon in the week coming. It's on the 15th, so the day after Valentine's Day, which is also Ash Wednesday for those who participate and believe in that. And so we'll have, from the celestial system, we'll have like this increased energy surrounding us and a heightened opportunity to do this. In the days, I usually say like 2 days before, and of course during, and like 2 days after, it's the perfect time to really speak to the universe and perhaps specifically the moon about what you want new in your life. New moons are about new beginnings. Now, of course, all new beginnings are also about endings, right? It takes an ending in order for the new beginning to even occur. So there's that. And there's also going to be a partial solar eclipse with this new moon, and solar eclipses are also about new beginnings. So this is going to be a perfect time again for you to take advantage of this this energy that's available here. Now, this card will represent you and your higher self about you, the masculine about you, about himself, the union as a whole. Overall, what the masculine would have you to do, surrender, contribute toward the union, what he himself is willing to, because this is all from his perspective. I'm just going to turn the camera a little bit, make sure everything's in frame. What the universe would have the two of you to do, and the outcome. And again, your overall energy is the goddess. Feminine about herself, the mystic. This card also represents for me air, and most specifically the sign of Aquarius. So anybody taking on these traits or attributes, it's the sign of Aquarius, and it's air and water too, this card. But then again, even more so why it reminds me of Aquarius. Aquarius is the water bearer. So it's an air sign, but it brings water into play. This card is about heightened psychic awareness and ability, and telepathy, communication. The star in the tarot represents the sign of Aquarius as well. And for me, communication, as all air signs do, but most specifically like electronic communication when you see this. So this could be where you are tapping into your intuition. And if you're not, you're guided to. And perhaps trying to communicate, if not on an ascended level, then at least on the 3D plane, and perhaps most specifically, again, electronically, text or something like that. The masculine with regard to the feminine, that there's some sort of healing that needs to occur with her, and it's sort of like head to toe, that maybe she does need to let go. He may see this and feel this the same way that the cards began to show us already, that there's a need to let go and to surrender and to allow oneself to be healed, top to bottom. There's just, room for healing in all areas. Masculine about himself, a very similar sort of energy, spiritual growth, that too comes from healing and comes from surrender. There's a full moon behind this angel here as well. And about the union as a whole, more of this very Aquarian energy, the energy of communication, and it's like bookend, right? There's one on the end, on either end, and they both speak to this communication, quite possibly telepathic. And maybe one is speaking, one is listening, and vice versa. And so I think that there is this communication going on between your higher selves. And if you're not tapping into it, you are guided again to pay closer attention to your intuition and psychic awareness and or abilities as a whole. Overall, blessings. Mother Mary, I'm happy to see her in this version as opposed to the sorrow, because like I said, I don't want to talk her up, but I did feel I could and like see a lot of pain and hurt as I was shuffling the cards before, and she has a card in here that reflects that. What would the masculine have you to do toward the union? Forgiveness. So perhaps forgiveness of the pain and hurt of which I speak. Maybe that's why there's communication telepathically, or at least attempts and or electronic communication. Maybe you need to make sure that you're opened up to that. If you have blocks on it or whatever, like the 3D communication, if you have him blocked or something like that, take that off. He's looking for forgiveness. And what is he himself willing to do? He's following the divine guidance that he is being given. He's listening. Okay. So not a mistake that this card is here. I'm sitting under this one. Again, this is from the masculine higher self and his perspective. And so this is what he has chosen. And he's also, again, using that energy of surrender and recognizing that the advice and the guidance that is available to us from the divine is infinite. It does not run out. He can always go to it. And that is what's led to this growth here, at least in part. And that's why these are crossing as well. What would the universe have the two of you to do? Spend more time in connection with the universe, in prayer, preferably outside if at all possible, like in nature. If you, I don't know where you live, I don't know anything about you other than the name on your email address. But if you live in an area that is at all conducive with, like going for a walk, maybe through a park, and maybe sitting on a bench for a moment and doing some reflection, meditation, prayer there, that is what you are guided to do. Maybe if you're able to, put a blanket down and sit in the grass, or even if you get a moment to like step your foot on the actual ground, or maybe if you live like somewhere like Florida or California, you can step on, go to the beach and like your foot in the actual sand, while you sort of meditate again, or prayer again doesn't have to be done any kind of particular way. It can be while listening, for example, to music, or specifically to meditation tones, binaural tones, all of those things. So you want to put on earphones while you're going for a jog or something. That's prayer and meditation too. But that's what the universe would have the two of you to do, to connect. And this can also be that earth sign energy that I was feeling before too. So all the elements that I felt as well being reflected here, showing up in this spread too: the air, the water, the earth, and the outcome, guardian. So continuing on the path, knowing, having come into additional spiritual growth and awareness, and knowing that we are protected along the way. Not very romantic yet, but this is definitely promising, as are these cards of communication. So now I will do another cross spread, one of my cross spreads, this one from the perspective instead of the universe, beginning with Beauty Queen, which represents that like Venus energy for me, and the energy of like the Empress in the Tower. If you're familiar with that, Venus is the planet of love and abundance, love and money and popularity, and that's what this card speaks to me. It's about being like self-confident and feeling attractive and being attractive, like to other people finding you attractive, very easily. You're not having to put effort into it. They're just, attracted to you. And opening to dark male, which in this deck represents the divine masculine for me. Beauty Queen. And Ice Queen, which also is connected to Venus. So I'm still seeing a lot of this air sign stuff. Venus rules the signs of Libra and Taurus, and she is also the ruler, specifically the esoteric ruler of Gemini. However, as it relates to the Queen of Swords in general, that of course includes Aquarius as well, beauty queen. And opening to triangle. So this may be, again, another indication of 3 people or 3 energies involved here. Somebody may be, as they say, attached. That's a possibility. Because again, I felt like restriction and separation and pain and hurt, all that kind of stuff. Triangle back. I'll go one more. And past love. Which could be reflective of past as in, you know, yesterday or before, or past as in like past life too. Which, you know, relationships of the universe and or of God tend to be, you know, they're from past lives. We've known each other before. We're meeting again. Coming to courting man. Overall energy is family, and there's 3 people in this card as well. This can represent the 3rd energy too. Could be somebody's family members butting in, or again, one or both may be attached. So this can be reflective of, you know, a family union on either side. This will represent the 2 of you as a couple. The recent past, the near future, the masculine's higher self, blocks to union, advice, what the feminine can do, rather, what the masculine can do, further advice from the universe for the 2, and the outcome. The couple's represented by karma. And this can mean that you are experiencing karma right now, good, bad. Well, I won't say indifferent. It always has an effect. All right, good or bad. You could be experiencing that. It can be discussing the 2 of you as what's come to be known as a quote unquote karmic relationship. Although karma and karmic isn't meant to be derogatory. That's one of the things that has come about as a result of people talking about stuff that they don't understand or really know about. And that's what's happened with quote unquote twin flames in general. And so now karma has come to be known as a bad word. It's not really though. It's not really. It just is what it is. The recent past here, control. So somebody on strings, again, maybe somebody is attached, whether that means married or in a committed relationship, or attached to like their family, like married to some other structure, married to their family, their parent is controlling, their children are controlling, or they feel stuck as a result. Their ex is controlling, somebody pushes their button, somebody manipulates them. This can also show up when one or, you know, both of the people for whom I'm reading have been trying to control things too. You know, a lot of the times the cards will have more than one meaning. The near future. Passion. Okay, very nice. But things are heating up here. And this is a very fiery energy for me and often represents fire signs. But I haven't seen any other evidence of fire signs as of yet. I mean, maybe that'll pop up too. We still got a little bit of time in this reading. But I haven't seen any evidence of fire signs yet. This can have to do maybe with Valentine's Day, with all this red to match my nails and this passion. And it's in the near future. It can still have to do with Mars, even though I've seen the water. Like I said, I mentioned Scorpio too. Mars is a ruler of Scorpio as well. That's another reason this could be showing up here. But either way, it's nice to see the near future, passion, masculine's higher self. Wow. Okay, things are really picking up here. Union. I like this. I like this. So his mind here, but maybe he is tied up in karma or in karmic issues that have to be worked through. They may have caused pain to you, and yours to him, perhaps, like vice versa. There's always room for forgiveness all around in these things. Blocks to the union, past life. So again, past life can mean past as in yesterday or prior, and or literally past life, like, you know, a previous incarnation of yourself. And it can mean both. I mean, that's from where our karma tends to stem. The only beings expected to walk the earth, from anything that I have been shown and made to understand and downloaded and all of that, are rainbow children that are not here yet. And the reason will be that they will be born with no karma on their souls, like no past, no previous lifetimes, like brand new, fresh souls. But the rest of us have, you know, these things from which to delayer. What the feminine can do. The feminine's got obstacles. They may be self-imposed. She may be one of the people that I was saying, like one or both can be trying to control things and trying to force things. That ends up backfiring. That ends up blocking one's blessings. So she may need to stop that, according to the universe. Stop trying to manipulate the situation and allow things to play out. Allow karma to play itself out. What can the masculine do here? Communication. So we talked about that, and he or his higher self is in agreement with that. That shows from the previous spread. Communication. Further advice from the universe. There's some past love issues, and it too is crossing this control and manipulation and sitting atop the past life issues, but sitting next to union. So I would say multiple meanings for this card as well, that there's some stuff from the past with which to deal that may involve other people, but then certainly there's a past love connection between the two of you too. And the outcome, boom. There you go. I hope that answered all your questions. If you had any, because like I said, we didn't discuss anything. I just did the reading, but you got union here and you got twin flame as your outcome. But we're beginning with karma. We're beginning, you know, and that's if it is a twin flame, which I, you know, refer to as what they really are. These are divine unions because the twin flame is modeled after, or twin flames, the beings themselves are modeled after the elect ones and the illumined ones of the scriptures and the prophecies and ancient texts and, you know, archaeological finds like the emerald tablets and all of that kind of stuff. That's what twin flames are. There's really, twin flame is really no such thing. The beings in truth are the elect ones. So, yeah, you would be one, it seems. And from there, let's look at these a little bit too. Because again, this is where I was seeing the pain. So maybe we can try to figure out what the root of some of this stuff, if you need to see what's happening or been happening or happens if you're not aware. So again, I'm beginning with earth energy. I told you I saw a lot of air, a lot of earth, and a lot of water. And the Hermit, Major Arcana card number 9, the Hermit, is about enlightenment, the need to go within. Sometimes we are helping other people to become enlightened and more spiritually aware, and we're like a lawyer or a teacher, an authority. Sometimes it represents the sign of Virgo or other earth sign. And opening to the wheel, which is about the planet Jupiter for me and karma, right? The planet Jupiter is all about karma and expansion and growth, and rules the sign of Sagittarius. So maybe there is a fire sign energy coming in. But Sagittarius for me is also Cupid, which is Venus's sun. So it could be a connection again back to like Valentine's Day, and perhaps if there had been separation, finally some communication or something like that. And the wheel is also attached to the fixed signs for me, which would be Leo, Scorpio. So there's the water again, perhaps. Taurus. So there's your earth again, perhaps. And Aquarius. There's your air. Expect a sudden positive change in your life. You can now move forward and make great progress. And, you know, not to like to my own horn or pat myself in the back, this can also be that wheel energy that you're about to see, and this karma can also be perhaps expedited or in coming to fruition now because you did also buy purchase and energy healing. And that's what I do. That a lot of times we have what is resolved karma on our souls still, like, and it's like a buildup. It's like when you clean a bathtub, maybe, and you put the Ajax in there, the powder, and you clean it, and then you rinse it out. But sometimes there's still like residue of that powder, so it's clean now, kind of. I mean, or it should be, except there's still like this muck in there that has to be rinsed out too. That's kind of like what karma does. It can leave residue on us. I can't remove unresolved karma. I can ask for it to be dealt with and sort of like raised to the surface. And, you know, and it has to be addressed. But what karma you've already worked through, you know, whatever means, life lessons or inner work, as they call it, and things like that, that I can remove. And, you know, and anything that anybody has like sent your way by way of negativity, that kind of stuff, I can remove. So that often will all of a sudden enable people to come together where they had been in separation and stuff. I've had clients that, like, the day that they purchased the cleanse, you know, they hear from their mate, and they hadn't in a year or two. Really. In any case, the Hermit brought us to all of that, and now opening to the Princess of Summer. So this is reflective of that water I've been seeing. The Princess of Summer is the Page of Cups, basically, which represents the sign of Pisces to me, or the water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or somebody likened to those traits. You know, sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced is the Princess of Summer. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message. So you may suddenly receive that communication, or be invited to a social event. Princess of Summer, and now the King of Summer, who's warm-hearted, devoted, loving, and faithful. A trustworthy person or relationship enters your life. You may receive wise and compassionate advice from someone who speaks directly from the heart. The King of Summer, like the Page, is a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, or somebody. Those traits or attributes. Princess of Summer, I'll go one more, and it's the Seven of Spring. Be assertive, believe in yourself, and don't let anyone take away your personal power. So don't allow yourself to be manipulated and for people to pull your strings. Trust that your inner guidance is true and follow it completely. Seven of Spring. I'm going to cut. Boom. Ace of Summer. This is reconciliation or a new beginning of some sort, a brand new relationship. Yeah, just the divine new beginning, a blessed new beginning that's going to bring you emotional joy and fulfillment. This is the beginning of a new emotional experience for you. It may be the first blush of romantic love, the rebirth of a current relationship, or the awakening of spiritual gifts and insight. So it can be that as well, because we just had the Hermit, which I said is about enlightenment and spiritual awareness too. And we saw that evidenced in the first spread as well. Wow, the overall energy is the Two of Summer. You're falling in love or experiencing a deepening of emotion in your current relationship. Marriages or romantic partnerships in distress can still be saved. Don't give up. So even where there has been distress, difficulty, separation is where something can come together. Now, I want you to be happy about this reading and to receive it well, but I don't want you to build up you know, like over expectation. Just allow things to happen. So like have faith and allow it to flow, because I don't want you to get like, you know, where you're back into that place of blocking your blessings. And now I think we've seen actually enough of these positive that before we run out of time completely, or I think we may have already, but I'm going to continue to go. I'm going to move to the romance angels, beginning with deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship, and that may be what led to the hurt that I was feeling. So on the heels of that hurt, it is safe for you to love and to open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So we have to release the hurt, the pain that was caused here, and know that it's okay to, you know, try again at this point. It's safe for you to love. And passion. This is the second time we're seeing a card called passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. It's safe for you to do so. And romantic feelings, your feelings are real and worth exploring. And it's safe for you to do that as well. Romantic feelings. I'll go one more. Stay optimistic about your love life. I guess this is what I was trying to say. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So be optimistic about it, but not, don't build up like the expectations that you may have had in the past, where you know, end up limiting the universe by your words and thoughts and blocking your blessings as a result. Just be positive. Romantic feelings. I'm going to cut. Wow. Back to from where I started after all that shuffling and everything is this deception. So this is at the root of all of our issues. We know that there's a positive outcome if we are positive and, you know, speak and think positivity over ourselves, over our lives. That's what we will manifest. But there is certainly an indication that there has been maybe some lying to oneself, if not the other partner, but I think it's been the other partner and or, you know, other means of deception between the two. And there's a need to release all that, let go of all that. If you, that past love issues and past life issues and karmic issues that we saw in the last spread, let go of all that if you want to be able to move forward with the new beginning in a healthy way. And the overall energy is free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life from whomever or whatever was manipulating and controlling it. Okay? Masculines, honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So this can speak again of, you know, later on in this week. Thursday is the new moon. This can be about that. It can be about the day before or, you know, like on or around then. It could be about Valentine's Day. I can't think of any other actual holiday time, right? Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. But it's just like, it could be the honeymoon phase of relationship. When you're starting a new relationship or you're rekindling a relationship, you go through a honeymoon phase too. It can be about that. And at the root, you know, at the most basic, or at least at minimum, it is about moving into calmer, stiller waters as it relates to love and relationship. And surrounded by romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. But in the masculine subconscious, codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. This doesn't have to be like substance abuse. Sometimes that's the first thing we think of when we see addiction. But codependency is any person, place, or thing on whom we are dependent in a toxic way, or allowed to be dependent upon us in a toxic way. This can be relationships with friends, romantic relationships, you know, and we're supposed to be able to, again, come together harmoniously as one being is supposed to be able to do that. They're inner masculine and feminine. And then in interaction with others, we're supposed to be able to do that. We're not supposed to be codependent. We're not supposed to be overly independent. We're supposed to be interdependent, right? And like balanced out. So this is an unhealthy situation. And in this placement, this is like in his subconscious, he could just be thinking about this and maybe feeling that there is something or someone from whom he needs to free himself, that he needs to make the effort to do so. That could be the case, that he needs to, feel that it's safe for him to love, and then go ahead and go after that. Pay attention to the red flags, things that are showing up around him, that there's some toxicity, because this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek, and there is new love, like on the horizon, that's awaiting, that may be with your old love. But first, there is the need to heal family issues. And, family issues, can be all kinds of, different dynamics. And you may think that it's impossible and, it can't happen. We've got to keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from usual type and expectations, which they tend to. If one is in a divine union and one is a quote unquote twin flame, there tends to be some sort of very stark difference. And that would appear as a reason, at least in society or by societal norms or something, as to why they can't be together. And it's up to us to fight those and to break down those constructs and to free ourselves from those constructs. The last upright card behind this is wedding. This situation involves marriage. So likely sacred marriage, at least, if not, a 3D marriage as well. Feminine, very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So this, I would connect that to the meditation and the prayer that you need to do, and the hermit energy of the need to go within first and, get to know yourself a little better and exactly what you want, and you commit to that and commit to freeing yourself from whatever is blocking you from it, and whatever, and from ceasing to put obstacles in front of yourself, releasing all that stuff. And then you can, it'll come to you. That's when that will allow for the positive thoughts and the positive words that you will then, think and speak over your life, as opposed to negativity and pessimism. And you are surrounded by let go of control issues. So you're guided to let go of control issues. You've been one of the people pulling strings, and it's time for you to stop that and allow this situation to unfold naturally. Instead, we can't force it either way. If we do, we push it away. Chasing also pushes it away. The only way that this works is to surrender to the divine and allow, for things to flow. In your subconscious, heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with one another. So here's the need for communication again, and crowning the union. Boom, soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate, which we saw from the other spread. And at the root, give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership is advice to the two of you. And at the heart of the matter, boom, reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. I hope that you enjoyed this reading and you find it helpful. Namaste, Angel.